welcome to another Random Code stream. This one will probably be, and I'm pretty sure about this, this one will probably be pretty short, or shorter than I usually do. I think this feature just needs some more unit tests and then it'll be done. So that's fine by me. I did want to close this up, and it's a weekend, 3-day weekend, it's a vacation weekend, so why stress myself out? Let's get some music going here. There we go. All right, so this feature is basically saying I want to filter properties when I generate a deconstruct method. And one idea I had with this is a way to kind of fit the collection builder pattern. I thought, hey, if I give the name of a method that returns the right stuff, it could dynamically tell me the list of properties that you either want to include or exclude, which seemed like it made sense until I tried to actually implement it, because the problem is this is being detected at compile time, and or more to the point, whenever the incremental generator is been told to run. So there's no guarantee that this is actually even a live method to call. I don't have any idea as to, is this something that I could actually even invoke? Moreover, I don't even think that's the right way to do it. So I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it yesterday, and I kind of went, you know, this is just not possible. Like putting in the list of properties you want to filter into the attribute, that's definitely possible. But doing it with this approach, it's just not. I had one final last gasp thought this morning of saying, hey, maybe if I put on the properties that I want this to be like filtered, and then I stay in the actual AutoDeconstruct property, whether you're doing included or excluded, then it will just pick those. But I'm like, that's the same thing as putting them into a list here. If I add a new property, if I add a new property, then I've got to add that into, I've got to put that attribute on it. Moreover, that property may be in a base type that I don't own and I don't have easy access to. So that's not a feasible way of doing it either. So yeah, I kind of just said, well, the best we're going to be able to do here is you give a list. This is close to what I landed on. You say what kind of filtering you want to do. You say what properties are part of the filtering, and you leave it that way. The default is just to mark the type with AutoDeconstruct, and that's it. And then you let it do its magic. It's just in these cases where it's like, hey, this ends up picking out way too much of what I want it to. There's a way for me to be able to filter it. And the last thing before I get to writing the unit tests and closing this out is, do I have a design in place that if I find some way to end up letting you do something like this, have I painted myself into a corner? And I don't think so, because it all comes down to what kind of filtering you want to do, and if you want to do filtering, what are the names of the properties? So as long as I can get to that point, then if there's a way to provide that information, so much the better. And moreover, how that information is provided kind of becomes immaterial. I don't think I'll find a way to do something like this, but I think I've at least given myself the ability to let that come into play if there's a way to do it in the future. So with that, let's get to writing tests and finishing this out. So I have my list here. I need to do target auto. Go away. Oh, I should move my camera down here. This is coding mode camera, where it was is gaming mode camera, because usually closed captioning is at the bottom of a game. Usually, so that's why I've been moving my camera up and down, depending upon whether I'm doing a coding stream or a gaming stream. All right. All right, so we did auto. Now we need to do target auto. I probably can copy and paste these two tests. Make sure it works for target auto. So in this case, we want to do, or we put it at the assembly level, and that would be there. Okay. So we do that, we say assembly target, and then we say type of test, right? Yep. Except in this case, we're going to pass in these things, and we should get that. And then here, same thing. Type of test. And now we run these. Ooh. Failure? How dare you? You're supposed to write code that just works. Okay, so that obviously did not work. Let's see where this is probably throwing an exception is what I'm guessing. Yes, I did not update the code for what I was doing before, which is up here. Oh wait, it was. Oh, it's argument 2. Off by 1 errors. Hey, it's a great Sunday morning. Okay. Let's do this again. No, not that one. This one. Still 2 failures. Okay. Maybe the coding gods are yelling at me because I did not. Test space. Isn't that what I did up here? Yeah. Okay. Now it'll just work when I get this all. Now it worked just perfectly. Too fast. Oh, God. Well, this is... turning out to be fun for some version of fun. All right, let's see. Let's... All right. You get the class. You get the target type as being that. We should get a model. Okay. So then... Okay. Well, maybe this is going to take longer than I expected it to, because this I thought would just work. I literally thought it would just work. Yeah, it should just print out the same thing. Well, obviously we're getting into some kind of issue with the builder. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna find this out. This is gonna be a fun adventure for a Sunday morning. Okay, so we do get into the builder. Public. We say the namespace is test space. Indent. Deconstruct. Yeah, with that. I mean... Oh! duh. The file name changes in this case, right? It goes to target AutoDeconstruct. Nope. That ain't it. What madness is coming up right now? Let's get rid of all the breakpoints. And what is the name of the file that is coming into? I mean, it's obviously writing a file. So what is this file named? That's the name of the file. So we say yeah. Oh, diagnostics return. Oh, maybe I should actually look at what the error is. The name test does not exist. Oh, jeez. Oh my God. That would help. Let's see if that helps before I fix the other one. There you go. It helps if you're trying to name something that you make sure that the qualification is correct. Okay, now this one is wrong, but I bet, yeah, it should say target here. No. Why is this one failing? Oh my God. I'm just batting 1,000 this morning, aren't I? Holy crap. Ay. There we go. All right, so now we've got tests in place for target. Filtering. All right. That seems to be good. Now, what is left on our list? I think it's just integration tests, right? So how do we want to do integration tests with this? Excuse me. We're going to want to target different types. That's actually something that I never thought about. What happens if you put an attribute for more than one type in place? Okay, I had to remind my kid about something in the car, so I heard them taking off in the garage door opener. All right, anyway, so yeah, what would happen if you target more than one? If you target a type more than once with this, I don't know. Would last win? I don't think so, because the number of properties that come out of the model would be different, and so there'd be 2 of them. Huh. What happens if you add the attribute more than once with different filtering characteristics? The reason I ask that is because I think if you just put the attribute on a type more than once, so you did this the same, like if you did this the same, even with the filtering more than once, you would get you would get a compilation error because it would generate the same thing twice. But this actually is kind of a interesting effect in that if you did filtering different ways, you'd end up getting different deconstruct methods. Something to try later. Okay. So let's say we could have a included assembly level customer and an excluded. So we want to say type of, filtering, included, and then we want to have name of included assembly level customer. We're going to include the ID. Okay. So now we should say run deconstruct with included filtering. And actually, let's put a public int age. Actually, a uint. I can never get past that. It's got to be a uint because you can't have a negative age. We got to order these too. Damn it. Okay. So now what we want to do here is say age is equal to 30U. And now we want to say included. Age is that. And we should be able to do this, right? I know you can do a deconstruct with one. And you can't just say what did it do here? Yeah, it just did ID. I just don't remember how you call this with just you can't do this because that's literally an assignment. Yeah, to that. Yeah, and then you can't. Okay, new strategy involved just to make it simpler for me. because it's all about me. We're going to have ID and age. There. Now, we should be able to say var new age, new ID. Yes. And new age should be equal to age. New ID should be ID. And that should work, right? Because with the magic of source generators, it automatically updated it. Beautiful. Oh, we got errors. Analyze attribute usage analyzer through an exception of type. Value cannot be null. Yeah, I guess I should also analyzer. Auto and target auto. Okay, so maybe this will take longer than I thought this morning, which is fine. So it does generate the right thing. If we say exclude now, whoops, excluded, and we want to say we want to exclude the name. Now we should see excluded. That did not do the right thing. Oh, because I said include. Watch this. Watch this. Boom. Boom. I'm not saying I'm clever. I'm just saying this is clever. The whole source generator thing is clever. That's what I like about it. Oh, no, no, oh no. I got this problem where, yeah, the keyboard suddenly stops working in Visual Studio. And so you have to like reload it. I don't know why it does that. So now we can say excluded. And it should be the same thing because we're... But I bet, yeah, we have some tests to do first on the analyzer test. Let's pop that up there first. Okay, so what is breaking on the analyzer? And I believe it's just when we do filtering with target AutoDeconstruct. Something is not... with filtering. So we want to say here, filtering include, and then we want to put a name of test space test ID. This should also work. But it's not. We're getting the right error. Value cannot be null. Good. Good. Huh. Well, how do we get to that point? How do we get to this one? How are we passing in null here? Oh, wait. No, no, no. I did not need... Ah, yes. I knew I'd find it. We are not doing the right thing. We're not doing the right thing in either case. We should be doing what we're doing in the generator, which is we want to pull out I believe here, if we come back to our test, this is a value. It's a conversion operation. So this doesn't work because, yeah, it's a value. This is a conversion operation. Okay, and I believe if I look at our current code, we are already doing something like this. Well, not here. We were doing it in here, right? Because I'm like, oh, I took away all this code, but... Right. We need to get a conversion operation. If it was a type attribute, oh, that's right, because we always had that optional argument. And so either was a conversion operation so are we still in the debugger down here? Yes, we are. So let's go to media window. Let's pull this and say as I conversion operation, which it is. So if I did that here, then I get that as a conversion operation, and then I can say constant value. No. What is this? Yeah, that doesn't work. Doesn't have a value. Knows it's a type of string. What the hell can you do to this thing? Is checked kind. Well, it is definitely a conversion operation. If I take this off, it is a conversion operation. I am struggling trying to figure out how do I get the value out of a conversion operation. I can see that it thinks it's type. Conversion operation is... You can't just cast this to a string. That doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. But there's got to be a way to pull the value out. I'm going to do a wild guess here and say .NET conversion operation array. Copilot search will not help. Yeah. Operand type. Yes, it is. Holy crap, this search might actually work. Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, I guess... as... So wait a minute, let's do this. Now what? What else can we get out of this? Value? This, okay, so this is not helping. Okay, so you know it's a string, but... Wait. Array type symbol. Yeah, but that doesn't help. It doesn't get me the value of... Yeah, this didn't help at all. Yeah, now it's going to spin off into the weeds. Yeah, that doesn't... It doesn't help at all. I need to get the value out of it, not the... Okay, well, I guess I'm going to need to do another stream tomorrow because I can't figure this out. What a piece of garbage. How am I supposed to... Yeah, great. Elements, length of 1. How do I get to the elements? Yeah, that doesn't... Oh, man, this is really pissing me off. Great, it's a collection expression operation. As collection Expression operation? Can I get the damn value out of this? Oh my God. Yes, I get I have. What is the value is what I want. This is ridiculous. There's got to be a way to get the value out of... Sorry, I've been hiding what I'm doing here, but this is... And I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm literally just trying to say, okay, what is this? It is a conversion operation. I get that. So if I say value, it is a conversion operation. What am I doing? I'm going insane is what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out how do I pull out through Roslyn a parameter that is a string array and an attribute. So, and I'm having loads of success, and by that I mean I'm having none. Repeat. Like, why is there no music going on in the background? It's because I didn't have repeat on. Convert. Well, it won't do that now because it needs to be... as iCommon conversion, iArray, creation operation, initializer? No. What is the value? It's a conversion operation. Yes, that's great. Now you get the type. Oh my God, this is unbelievably frustrating right now. I'm literally about to throw my computer through a window. This is unbelievably frustrating. Well, that work. I can't get to the damn value. Oh my, this is unbelievable. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm starting to rage here, and maybe I should just stop because this is just, I can't even talk right now. All I want to do is get the damn string value out of a attribute constructor. And it knows it's there. But unlike when it's an enum, I just can't simply cast it, which I can sort of kind of get sense of why that is. But why can't I just say, like, what magical incantation do I need to do here right now to get the value of an array out? I can do it in the generator. I mean, this is slightly different. It's not the same thing. Because it has a values here. I want value. Because again, it's not the same. Yeah, it's... Oh, this is so frustrating. I get it's a conversion. How do I convert it? Yeah, I figured that would be too easy. There are moments with Rosalind that I'm just like, how did you make this so goddamn complicated? More to the point, why didn't you make it obvious? Or like, how? I mean, I'm sitting here going, I have no idea how to pull this value out. I have zero idea how to pull this out. Fine, it's a value. Do I just... Oh, wow. Wow. Are you kidding me? So you have to get to the operand, then its elements, and then see, did they put in a name of operation? Oh, holy crap. Because they could have given you even a constant value. They could give you a string. They could give you a name of. This is ridiculous. Sorry, I think I might need to stop this stream because I might need to totally rethink this. I get why it's doing now what it's doing, which is it's telling you the operation is a name of operation, but it could be a string operation or a string. It could be a constant. Fortunately, in an attribute, I don't think you could pass in a function to get it. I don't think. I don't think that's allowed. I think with an attribute, you have to have it be all constant values on assignment. But with the name of, you actually have to say, well, it's a name of operation, and then say, well, then its constant value is a string that has a value of ID. What other operations could there be? If I did it, instead of trying to use an I attribute operation, and I analyze Well, syntax would probably not be any better. A symbol. Might actually be easier when you do that. I forget. Symbol kind. Method. Technically, it is a method because you're calling the constructor on the attribute. Man, this just took the wind out of my sails. Like you can't say GUID, new GUID to string here. Yeah, that's not allowed. Constant expression, type of expression, or array creation expression of an attribute parameter type. And an attribute parameter type has to be string or like a constant value. So, I think we're good that way. But like you could do here, you could just say age, and that would be fine. So what we need is a way to say is a way to say, well, what would happen if I could type correctly? Let's just say name again. I don't know why I was getting obsessed with name. Space. Let's say public uint age get set. And then let's just put in age here. Now, when we get to this point, how do we get to value, conversion, no, operand, so we do want operand, right? Value, operand, elements. Cool stuff. Well, thank you. This is also really complicated. And so it'd be a name of or literal of expression. So we want and here we can say zeroth, right? Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna just take some notes here. This could be either Like for this one, I believe it's a name of, right? So if I say here, as I name of operation. Hey! Hey! You can't see it. Let me move my camera here. You see that? There's my value. I study comp sci. This is scaring me. Rest assured, you will. I mean, if you're studying computer science, which my degree was done. I have 2 degrees in electrical engineering, a bachelor's and a master's. Though in retrospect, I probably should have taken having my degrees in like comp sci or comp sci math or something like that, because that's really what I gravitated towards. And yes, when you do that, you probably will take courses on, or at least you should, I think, like data structures and compilers and things like that. This is C#'s compiler and how it does things. It's not necessarily the way all compilers work. So, and to be really clear, unless you want to get into this stuff with Roslyn as a C# developer, you don't ever need to see this stuff. You don't have to be aware about how this stuff works if you're not curious. If you're curious, great. You know, that's me. I love being curiosity killed the cat type of thing. But yeah, you don't have to necessarily have to dive into all this stuff. So let me move this back here. So if it's scaring you, I'm sorry if I'm scaring you, but at the same time, I'm encouraging you. It's the fun stuff. I find this stuff to be, like, ironically, we're moving as software developers constantly towards higher levels of abstraction, where we want to now just use agents and say, build me this, you know, just build me this, more or less. That's what we want to prompt and type in. But I'm also finding that the more you know about how things work underneath the scenes, the better off you are. I'm not saying one or the other is good. I'm saying I think both should be appreciated and explored. So anyway, okay. So I got to this. Right? For a name of my type age, we would do this. For a age, which is what, if I did 1 here, what is that? Oh, I need to take off one of these things here. It's a literal expression. Okay, so that's... So if elements is a name of operation, then we can use constant value. But what happens if it's just like a 1? Again, type full name. It's an iliteral operation. Okay, so if we did as iliteral, got it. Okay, so now we can say cast this and say constant value, and we know we'll get the, well, we'll say value there. Okay. For a age, we can just do that. But again, the name of operation, if we get back to our 0, 1, can we say value here then? Yes, so it would be constant value dot value. So it's just the cast of what we're doing. Do you do a literal or a name of? Okay. So we know we need to do it as a, well, not necessarily. Because somebody, we know you can't pass in a method to give us those values, which would be nice. Even if you could, though, I don't think it would work. But if we're coming back here to analyze attribute, what happens if I said, let's comment this out here in my test code. And now let's put this in here. And we say, I want to have a new string array of that. Right? Because that's another way to build it. What happens in this case? What is the value? It's an array creation operation. So, programming is fun. So if I do for name of my type age, comma, age, then I can, this is just my own little syntaxy syntax. So now I can do, well, yeah, or I can say for that, my type, what did I say? Right, I got to get back to my analyzer. This is an array creation operation. Which it's not, because you can't do that. So I want to say value as array creation operation, right? What's its operator? So now can't do that, right? Because it won't know what that is. It is an array creation operation. Can't do this, right? Yeah. Okay, so we do this. Yeah, that's just the dimension sizes. That doesn't actually. Wait a minute. No, that's not getting us what we want. Constant value doesn't work. What's the type? It's an array type symbol. That's not very helpful. We need to get an operation out of this. It's an array creation operation. Yes. We don't know the constant value. Ooh. Initializer. Well. So we could say initializer as an IArray initializer. Initializer as IArray initializer operation. And we can say element values at 0. Hey, look at that. We're back to where we were. More or less. Would this be I name of? Yeah, it's a name of operation. This is getting very complicated, but that's okay. So we say initializer is that elements, and then we would say name of, and then const from that point on, it's the same. Holy crap. That is just an amazing amount of gobbledygook. Right? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then we do the same thing here for the age. We'd say 1 here, and that's a literal operation. Wow. Wow. So I first need to say, is it an array creation operation? Then if that's true, then I need to get the initializer operation from the initializer. And go through the element values and say if it's a name of operation, guess it that way. If it's a constant, do it that way. Now, if it's a conversion operation, then I got to go through operand to get the collection expression to get the elements as a name of. I mean, it's doable. It's definitely doable now. I just have to write like a helper to say help. Because holy crap. Oh, man, that's just... That is a whole bunch of painful. And this is where I wish patterns in C# allowed you to use statements and not just expressions. I know there's a proposal where you could do that, because then I think it would become a really powerful syntax to say I want to have a statement expression or something like that. And then you can have a statement on the right side of your pattern match. Instead of having to now, you got to make a local method that you call, and then that's an expression because you're doing an invocation expression. But yeah. Oh. Yay. That's just a whole bunch of pain. But at least I figured it out. Holy God. Okay. Well, we got some work ahead of us. If I go to my tests, I want to say is with using collection expression. And then I want to have a test using, what was the other one? Array creation. So in this test, I would want to go back to what I was doing, which is that. In this test, I want to do this. Because reasons. Oh, wow. That is just a whole bunch of nastiness, but needed. And I think those are the only ways that you could do an array, like put in an array into an attribute. Is either the array creation option or the collection expression operation. Okay, well now that I've gotten to where it is, it makes sense, but God, trying to find that, holy cow. That was an adventure. We are also going to want to do this with what did I call that? With filtering using array creation. So then here I want to say filtering include a string. And again, we want to get rid of name here because I don't like name. And we'll put public uint age set. Whatever. Just take that out. And that should work. And then we're going to say collection expression here. This off. There. So at least we have the tests in place, and then what we have to do now is all the casting crap that you just saw me gather so that I can grab the actual, like, this string ID and this string age. And I just realized something. You could do something like this. A plus GE. Why? I don't know. But because I'm a scientist, let's see what kind of pain that's going to cause. Oh. We're back to this now, aren't we? Because, well, yeah, because I didn't put a breakpoint on this. It's conversion operation because we're doing that. Elements. Oh. It's a binary operation. Oh. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. What's interesting though is that it says, and let's put a break. It says the value is age, even though I typed it in as a plus. It knows it's a binary expression syntax, but it knows that the constant value is that. So if I have a binary operation there, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let's see if I can break you even more. No. Where's my test? What happens if I do A plus G plus E? You can't do that? Sure you can. A plus G plus E. Let me take that out. It's perfectly valid. Why? What? The name E does not exist in the current context. What? Huh? Oh. Okay. Sorry. Guess one character matters. Okay, value. No. Operand. Elements. It's a binary operation that we can still get the value from. Okay. What is code output? Run this code. Sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. Okay, so we also have to consider a binary operation. But a binary operation should allow us just to get the constant value. So binary operation. Okay. For age, or for an A plus GE, this would be that. And then down here, we copy all this, but then we know that this is going to be an I binary operation. All right. And if you trim it out even more, you combine all these together, you know, that's what you're going to end up with. Last one. What if this wouldn't be correct, because this would actually not lead to a property that exists, and so it wouldn't work. What happens if I said X plus name of string? Because name of gives you a string, right? So I get the value. Which language for write code? C#. So if I say value here, I say operation elements. It is a binary operation that I can get the constant value of XID. Okay, so it doesn't matter how you combine them together. You get a binary operation, you can just cast it to that and it works. Okay. The interesting thing is that I'm also not specifying if you put in the name of a property to include or exclude, does it even exist? I guess that's another thing I can put on the list here. What happens if you put a property name in the filter list and it's actually not a property on the and that property by name does not exist on the target type? What should you do? All right, so I guess I got another stream to do tomorrow, but that's fine. That's cool. I'm gonna stop though because I want to get a bike ride in this morning. I do want to do another stream with Halo this afternoon or evening. So yeah, stuff to do. But this is an adventure. But again, this is one illustrating for I don't know how many millionth time that you have to write tests, and you've got to think outside the box of what can people do that you may not consider because it could break you. So yeah, that's fun, but that's good. I also now at least have I know that you could either have a name of a literal or a binary operation. I don't think there's anything else that you could stick in there for a string of what we want. If it's not even valid code, then we wouldn't even care, I guess. But yeah, I now know what the paths are. I just now need to write a method that says, well, give it the value. Is it an array creation? Yes. Go to the initializer, do it as array initializer, then go through the element values. If they're a name of, you do this. If it's a literal binary, you do that. And then the other thing is if the value is a conversion operation, then you do the operand, you do the elements, and so on. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. That's the plan. And hopefully finish this out. So with that, I am going to stop the stream. I want to thank everybody who's been either watching live or watches the VOD later. If you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, please do so. Would greatly appreciate it. Next goal is 5,000 subscribers, so any new subscription helps. If you've already subscribed, appreciate you for doing that. Again, the plan is to do a gaming stream this afternoon or evening, continuing on with Halo 3 ODST. And then I will do another stream tomorrow morning because it's a 3-day weekend here in the United States. So I have off tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing hopefully a coding stream in the morning as well. But with that, I'm going to stop the stream. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and I hope to see you in the future.